The stone is adorned with strange runes.
Need to warm up! Back on my feet again. I needed that.
As good as a new penny. Into the fray once more. Bitter chill. Explosive flames!
I needed that. A stitch of time, hey, my friends? A stitch of time, hey, my friends?
As good as a new penny.
Brother, sister, we are free! And who is this? Can it be that a frail mortal human faced and bested our own scheming Boreas? Ah, but this is no mortal, I see. Strange you take the guise of a source hunter. But I shall of course honor your chosen form. Indeed, I suppose I should have expected that one of your kind would snare our brother sooner or later. Boreas always did dance uncomfortably close to the dark arts. But I suppose the others of we elemental monarchs thought it better not to interfere in the affairs of his realm. No, like fools we waited for his pride, his hunger for more and ever more power, to pull us from our own seats of safety and into his sordid storm. We, and with us all the subjects of the realm of Fairy, do owe you our lives, Source Hunter. If, no, not if, but when, we might be of assistance to you in this dimension, you must call upon me personally. I am King Sewer of the Summer Kingdom of Calvia, brother, alongside the other elemental monarchs, to the unfortunate and insane Boreas. In earlier days, we ruled the four realms of fairy in relative peace, each of us the master of our own kingdom. But something changed in Boreas. He grew darker somehow, more than was typical of his usual melancholy. We worried, yes, but chose not to intervene. Boreas was the lord of Hyberheim, and it was his right to rule it as he pleased. When our brother called the elemental seats to convene in Hyberheim, we were ecstatic. Boreas seemed again interested in the joint rule of Fairy, in upholding the long-established diplomacy of our lands. When we arrived, however, it was not Boreas who greeted us, but a dark figure. A woman with a stare like blackest fire. In her staff she held a demonic power, the likes of which I've never felt. And a white witch, yes. From within our stifling prison, I did indeed hear mention of that name. It seems Boreas was tasked by a power he seemed nearly to fear. To guard the witch at all costs. If she were an important charge, he would have most certainly kept her in his innermost prison chambers. I listened closely when I could to Boreas' doings. From what I could tell, it seems this woman had little contact with our deranged brother after the initial exchange of the staff. From what I could tell, the arrangement was thus. She gave him us, contained, and in return he gave her access to his great star stone, and scores of imps he'd invited to Hyberheim. After that, the two parted, and I heard little more of the woman. In his fits of madness, Boreas would sometimes bellow abuse about the demon woman. I can only assume he meant the same who trapped us.
It's a good thing you arrived when you did, Source Hunter. Another moment or so and the devastating cyclone within me would have burst. Imagine if you'd made it all the way here, only to find we three free, and Boreas trundling in an eternal whirlwind. It reminds me of my days training in the Air Academy. It was lonely at the top of the class, but I refused then, as I do now, to downplay my tremendous abilities. Yes, I do believe it all started when we were all of us rugrats, fresh emerged from the eternal season. Oh, yes, of course. Why, I am Queen Sinister, ruler of the spring realm of Vanivia. Ah, Vanivia, fairest of fairy, the seat of gentle zephyrs and sprouted seedlings. And I, its eternal queen, do rule with such a fair and gentle hand that my will spreads, impossible to distinguish from that of spring itself. I suppose some small thanks are in order, yes. I suppose I do thank you for your interference in this affair. I am released and ready to return to Vanivia a moment or two sooner than I would have been by my own hand, and every tick of the clock counts, I do suppose.
A little legroom out front, a little wiggle room in the back. Wonderful to greet the wide open world again. Can you imagine a worse fate than being locked up with your blazing hot head of a brother and wailing windbag of a sister for the rest of time? I thank you from my bedrock for sparing me such a fate. Well, are these chiseled good looks not legendary by now? I'm King Larian of the Outer Realms of Lapatera, and I suppose you made the acquaintance of Master Molten and Lady Cyclone by now? Our wee motley crew sprang from the same source as a question for the eternal season, but I do suppose we made a fairly good run of it anyway. Poor old Boreas. He always did get the short end of the stick with his winter wasteland, while the rest of us enjoyed the plenty of the fairer seasons. Nevertheless, I never thought he'd grown mad enough to resort to such devilry. Well, we elemental monarchs owe you a great debt, Source Hunter. If you ever journey to the Autumn Kingdom, you'll stay as my personal guest. Your goblet will overflow with harvest mead, and the Queen will faint when she hears how you overcame the Winter King.
Back on my feet again.
Dear Starstone Commanders, I do apologize for the state your homestead is currently in. It's like a zoo in here, or worse, an imparium. That's right. These red little blighters appeared as out of nowhere when another one of the portals became active. God 7 or 700. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's imps. I know, but really, they're zany, they're exasperating, they're unpredictable, and they have about as much use for history as a professional clairvoyant has. Band of? Why, I'm not one of them! Not one of those exiles that were slaves to demons and their own inadequacies. But talk to them if you must hear their history. I haven't the stomach for the vagaries of my own species. No, what I need is the sound of a symphony, a whiff and a swig of old tasty wine, and above all, a shelter away from imps.
Straight to the void?
I wonder how much of a
fly
spark
straight to
it
the
takes
void?
to zap a human to vapor.
Oh my word! Oh my heavens! A source hunter! Careful, I'm losing my breath. Too much air. Oh!
Aye, aye, Captain. Say,
Phew!
have you seen my...
Right you are, of course, source hunter. But I've a propensity for hyperventilation whenever I'm faced with my ultimate heroes. I've heard that without you, all of Riverlon would be flying fast forward towards its doom.
No need for shoving now. There's enough of the imp of the year to go around.
Get along just fine. Look at them.
Every year. They don't call me majestic for nothing, dear. Now, where have I left that bottle? What a great
dewy-eyed bot.
I could tell a joke or two. Free on a good day. Source Hunter. I've a great many questions for you, if you've the time to answer them. Have you seen my magic box? Well, to start, I do quite wonder how this place came to be. A shelter plane at the end of time? Incredible! Next, I'm curious if you could tell me the exact weight of your partner. I'm guessing somewhere in the area of 24,670 racules, but I can't be totally certain. If you had time, I'd also like to inquire after your dear mother. How is her health these days? And that rash on her right cheek? Healed, I presume? And finally, compasses. How in the God's 7 names do they work? And so the mysteries remain.
Human to vapor.
Hi! Hello, 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 Sauce Hunter! I'll tell you whatever you like, friendo, but it'll cost you. Oh, but when you give me that look, I can't help but offer you my finest deal. My love story for a say. Did you know I can fly straight up from here to eternity? It's true. What? See? I was back before your puny human eyes even knew I was gone. Oh, don't go. Please, I'll show you a trick. Look. 1, 2, 3, and now your name is...
You know what, Greg? Free on a good day? I'd say hello, but I'd much rather say heaven-o! Get it? Get it? Yeah, you get it. Listen to this one. What do you call an imp that hasn't got any eyes? An imp. And here's one for you. What do you call a selfless imp? An imp. Hey, that leaf doesn't...
Psst. Strange. I'm zapping you just as hard as my finely tuned mental prowess allows, yet I can't seem to singe a single hair on your head. No, not violence. Zapping, explosions, bloody mist and other beautiful bits flying into high heaven. Ah, bliss!
Fly straight to the void? I think I could fly straight to the void.
Have you seen my magic box? It's got all kinds of wonders stashed inside.
I wonder how much of a spark it takes to zap a human to vapor.
What a wonderful place this is. A lovely locale to rest my weary belly. Far better than the hellish plains we imps are used to. Yes, I think we'll stick around. With your approval, of course. What's that? We have it. Marvellous. No, that hoity-toity historian thinks he's so much better than us demon thralls just because he was never actually enthralled by demons. And yet he's no more than a lackey to the gods, isn't he? What's the difference? Right you are. Grab a drink, sit you down, and lend me all the ears you have. We imps, you see, are a mixed breed of demons and some other long-forgotten race, which means we aren't as evil as the devils that begot us. But I'll be damned twice over if we aren't as clever. We hail from the realm of Nemesis, where demons have ruled supreme since... well, forever, really. Their knowledge of secrets and arcane scholarship is unparalleled. As unparalleled, in fact, as our inquisitiveness. Now, curiosity may have killed the cat, poor thing, but it enslaved us imps as well. We were blinded by the promises of knowledge the demons dangled in front of our eager faces.
I wonder how much of a
Yes, well, in hindsight it wasn't, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. Here's what happened. In return for our fair share of demonic knowledge, all of us imps had to sign our names in an indestructible book called a codex, which was to be considered an oath of servitude, a contract of give and take for mutual benefit, and signed out of free will.
Fools that we were, we readily agreed, and thereby signed our way into slavery. For we had to do everything the demons told us to, and they, in turn, shared very little knowledge with us indeed. Quite so. That's because one day, a particularly clever imp amongst us devised an escape plan. If we would be able to steal the codex and disappear with it, the demons would no longer be able to lay claim on us, for without the proof of the codex, the contract between us would be broken. One night, as the demons lay sleeping after a most sordid orgy indeed, we stole the codex and fled from Nemesis through a rift. Ever since then, we've been on the run, for our masters swore they'd return the codex to Nemesis so they can claim our servitude once more. So all we do is run and hide ad nauseam. Eternal fugitives are we.
Awaits you.
It kind of got lost, to tell you the truth. That's what happens after generations of flight. Things get misplaced. And yet, wherever that bloody book may be, up until now, the demons still haven't found it. So, good news there. Only a matter of time until they do, though. Unless, of course, time ends first. Wouldn't that be a stroke of luck?
Aren't you going to leap through? Who knows what wonder awaits you?